First and foremost, I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai, Bahashim Rokah Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well, and a sincere salutation to the Akim pushing his truth in sincerity. So you see the title of this article right here. It says the U.S. wants to spend $52 billion to become a chips powerhouse. Experts say that hundreds of billions and decades is needed to crack its reliance on Asia. Congress may soon vote on the CHIPS Act to fund more semiconductor plants in the U.S. Critics say the bill might not be able to achieve its goals. And you got this guy holding this this chip, if you will, okay? And, make no mistake, this is the pushing of the MOTB, okay? Remember that these devils are very crafty. They're not going to come out and tell you exactly their agenda. They are going to bury it in a bunch of, political jargon, a bunch of language that doesn't really get to the point unless you really study and read. But through the spirit, we know that something is coming, okay? The prophecy in the book of Revelation 13, okay, is coming. Now let's read this article. It says the threat of China looms so large that it has united Washington into advancing discussions on funding on unprecedented package of subsidies for the U.S. semiconductor sector. And now they want to blame China that, China is light years ahead of them in technology and they need to, compete with China. But really, this is what Esau Edom wants. They want division. They want people to think that there's a good side and a bad side, okay? But really, it's the wicked who are in control. Okay, they want to start building plants, okay, to start manufacturing these semiconductors, okay, aka chips, aka the MOTB. That's really what they're talking about. It says on Tuesday, the Senate voted 64-34 to advance debate on the CHIPS Act, a bill that earmarks $52 billion in incentives for chip makers to build plants in the U.S., viewed by many in Washington as critical to shoring up American supply chains and the U.S.'s ability to counter China in the global tech arms race. Okay, so they're painting it to you that the Senate has voted, okay, 64-34 to advance the debate on this CHIPS Act. Okay, showing you that supposedly we're in talks about it. Okay, a bill that will, that will basically give chip makers incentive to build plants, okay, in the U.S. $52 billion, okay, will be given as an incentive to chip makers, right? And they're saying that this is going to help American supply chains and the U.S. ability to counter China in global tech arms race. So you see what they're doing. They're trying to paint themselves as the saviors. Okay, we need to do this. We need to push this. China's above us. All right, because of the scandemic, we haven't been able to have our own plants to do these things. You see what I'm saying? So they're very crafty, man. Make no mistake, they know what they're doing. You know. It says Tuesday's procedural vote prepares the Senate and House of Representatives for a vote on the legislation by the end of next week. Okay, and they're not voting. They're going full steam ahead. When you see these articles coming out, and you know, Creepy Joe just did a address the nation about the Chips Act. It's on YouTube. All right, so you know they want you to think that they're going to vote on it and they're going to speak on it, but they're going full steam ahead. They know that they have but a short time. You see. We just read that. Let's see. Now, if you read in this article, the Chips for America Act, why it is necessary and what it does, it tells you in January of 2021, Congress passed, all right, Chips for America Act. Okay, the legislation enacted as part of the National Defense Authorization Act for fiscal year 2021 authorized a series of programs to promote the research, development, and fabrication of semiconductors within the United States. And you know, let's look up this word semiconductors. Simple definition. Semiconductors are substances with properties somewhere between them. ICs, integrated circuits, and electronic discrete components such as diodes, transistors are made of semiconductors. Okay. Found in here, semiconductor definition, found in thousands of electronic products. A semiconductor is a material that conducts electricity more than an insulator but less than a pure conductor. Down here, a semiconductor is a substance that has specific electrical properties that enable it to serve as a foundation for computers and other electronic devices, right? And you know that inside your phone, they use gold and copper and metal to, you know, for it to conduct electricity and, you know, and whatnot. And they use, you know, these minerals, all right, to basically to make to put in computers. You see? So these devils, they're witches. Okay, make no mistake. They are warlocks. They're witches. These are enchantments. You know, the MOTB is an enchantment. Okay, they conjure it up. They make it, and they use. All right. You know, different metals and whatnot. Okay. Let's read this. Semiconductors or chips. Okay. See, because they you know, they use a lot of different wording to confuse those who really don't know what's going on. All right. And I'm going to just say this. You can read articles and this, that, and the third, but really they're talking about the MOTB, point blank period. Let's not make no mistake. All right. We don't have to break down all these words and all these articles. And they want to push the MOTB. They are rushing now. They are so-called, you know, passed a vote to speak about it in Congress. But the prophecy states, man, that they're gonna pass. They're gonna make all both small and great to take that MOTB. Okay, that's in the scriptures. This is what you're seeing in front of your eyes. All right, semiconductors are chips, the silicon-based computational building blocks for everything from at-home dishwashers to hypersonic guided missiles, have garnered significant attention from lawmakers as a technology warranting significant domestic manufacture. All right. Yada yada yada. Now, I guess there was a shortage of these semiconductor components, all right, in past years, and even because of the pandemic. It says here, even before the C-19 pandemic, some U.S. firms complained of difficulties in obtaining semiconductor components, while demand for chips continued to rise to accommodate the burgeoning electric vehicle industry. All right, there was a demand for chips in vehicles, man. And the 5G telecommunications rollout further amid the strains in international supply chains caused by C-19 lockdown and border closures. Shortages developed among some types of semiconductors as producers allocated production to meet growing demands for electronic devices that required more complex, higher margin chips, leaving more traditional industries such as automobiles with inadequate supply. Okay. Right, international supply chains. They don't, they don't want. Basically, they don't want to go to other countries. They want to do it domestically. They want to lead in pushing the MOTB. All right, all these, make no mistake, all these nations are confederate, but they are all so greedy that they want to come out. Every nation want to come out on top. So there's been a strain among nations. International supply chains caused by C-19 lockdowns and border closures, shortages developed among some types of semiconductors. You see? All right. So you can read the rest. Beyond the dislocation for U.S., let's read this. Producers and consumers, policy makers have increasingly recognized the geopolitical and economic risks of the growing concentration of chip fabrication overseas, or CC. Right, there's a problem with the other countries like Taiwan and Korea. They're leading in these chips. All right. So let's read this incentive. The act provides financial assistance for the construction, expansion, or modernization of a semiconductor fabrication plant. You see? Or fab in the United States. The act allows for private firms and public institutions or a consortium of both to submit an application to the Secretary of Commerce for a federal grant not to exceed $3 billion unless approved by the Secretary in consultation with other federal stakeholders. So basically, if they pass this act for real, which they're going to, all right, there's no ifs, ands, or buts, there's no voting. It's going to give financial assistance for construction, expansion, and modernization of semiconductor fabrication plants. So these plants are going to go up, and they're being built already, or they're not already built. Okay. So they're going to be making chips. All right, these semiconductors that are basically, put in computers, and computers are taking over everything. Everything's becoming cashless. Everything's becoming digital. So things are going to be more digital. And that's really what they want to do in the first place. Okay, they want to subjugate you by giving you that MOTB. Okay, And the MOTB, it goes back to the RFID chip. You see? Wow. In addition to providing a demonstrated ability to construct, expand, or modernize a new or existing fab, right? They're existing already. Make no mistake. And that's all they have to put that in there to let you know that they already exist. They're very crafty with their language. Applicants must show that they have made commitments to worker and community investment, that they have secured agreements with regional educational entities to provide workforce training, and that they have an executable plan to sustain the fab after federal support ends. You see? So they're very vague. You know, the scriptures say their tongue walketh through the earth. Okay? Let's read this. President's cabinet is tasked with developing national strategy for the creation of a robust microelectronics industry in the United States and setting research and development priorities for the maintenance of U.S. leadership in advanced chip design and manufacture. Okay, so the president's cabinet, they're the ones that are tasked. This president, Creepy Joe Biden, all right, is tasked with developing national strategy for the creation of robust microelectronics industry in the United States and setting research and development priorities for the maintenance of U.S. leadership in advanced chip design and manufacture. You see? You know, they got all these big words and all this, mumbo jumbo crap, but really, Biden is he's tasked to push this, man. All right, he's tasked to push these semiconductors, which are really chips, which really is going into the manufacturing of the MOTB. Okay, they want to push it now. They want to develop buildings that are going to just pump this out, and they want to be the leader. Okay, and they're going digital. Okay, they're going digital. Make no mistake about it. They're going digital. They want to give you the mark. They want to push the mark now. Okay, so enough on that. You know what I mean? And like I said, they're crafty. I just wanted to bring that out too, because you can go into all this science, all right, all this technology jargon, all this political mumbo jumbo, all these acronyms of these these terms that they use, but in reality, all right, they're some devils and they're crafty. Job 15:5, for thy mouth uttereth thine iniquity, thou choosest the tongue of the crafty. Right? They're uttering iniquity, because really this is defying Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Okay, they are shaking their hand toward the Most High, saying that they are like the Most High. They can develop these supercomputers and this technology that'll subjugate every man, woman, and child, and leave them with the MOTB in their hand or in their forehead. Thou choosest the tongue of the crafty. It says, Job 5:12, he disappointed the devices of the crafty, so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise. So the Lord's going to disappoint these devils. Let's see. Devices.
Strong's H 4284. Machashava. Second entry. Machasheveth.
Right, their inventions. Yahweh Shemiah Shai disappointed the inventions of the crafty. What does it say here? texture machine. Okay, they want to build plants. They want to build fabrication plants. Okay, where they're going to be making these semiconductors or these chips. All right, this is their intention. This is their plan. This is their plot. Intention, plan, whether bad, a plot, okay? Cunning work, curious work, device, imagination, invented, means, purpose, thought. Okay, so the thought of every one of them is deep. Okay, if you go into Creepy Joe and his addressing of the CHIPS Act on YouTube, he has a whole panel right there. He has a whole panel that are speaking for him. All right. The video is called Biden Holds Virtual Meeting on the CHIPS Act While Recovering from COVID. No, Salakia, that's another video. The video is called President Biden Discusses the CHIPS Act with CEOs and labor leaders. Okay. He has a bunch of people on a panel, all right, like in a Zoom type meeting type setting, that are speaking about this whole CHIPS Act. So, right, the Lord's going to disappoint the devices of the crafty so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise. And the reason why they do that is because you get drowned in all this mumbo jumbo, okay? And really, you got to stop, rewind. You know, I'm very big on listening to these, how do you call them? These different types of these addresses when they speak to the nation and whatnot. All right, when these you know, they get up on these podiums and they speak to the nation. I'm very big on that. You know what I'm saying? You got to listen to what they're saying. He taketh the wise in their own craftiness, and the counsel of the forward is carried headlong. It says he traps the wise in their own cleverness, so their cunning schemes are thwarted. So the Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, he invented the eye. Okay, shall he not reprove the heathen? Okay, is he not one step above the heathen? Yes, he most definitely is. Okay, now let's go to the meat of the matter. This is Revelation chapter 13, verse 16. And I'm going to have to probably put this on Odyssey. All right. I'm going to just get straight to the point. It says, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. Okay. And when it's all said and done, you know, they're going to manufacture that MOTB. Okay. And they're going to put it, okay, that C-hip, they're going to put it in your right hand or in your forehead. Okay. This is biblical. Okay. This is prophecy. And that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. And the thing is that C-hip, all right, is going to have a barcode in it. All right. And that barcode from the front, the middle, and the end lines, you know, equate to 666. Okay. And you're not going to be able to buy or sell because they're going to do a global reset. You know, the dollar's going to get rid. They're going to get rid of the dollar. They're going to bring in this digital, this currency. Okay, you know, which currency really, if you look at it, it's money increasing and decreasing on the screen anyway. Okay, a lot of people don't carry cash nowadays. You've seen that in the scamdemic, you know, where they wanted what exact change. You see, so they're not dumb. They know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. Okay, because this is prophecy. You see, so you're not gonna be able to buy or sell. Okay, unless you have that mark. They're going to put it in your hand. They're going to put it in your forehead. That C-hip. And they're developing it. They're pushing it. Right now, they're going to go full steam ahead. And so, okay. So this is what all this CHIPS Act means. Okay. Here is wisdom. Let him that understanding count the number of the beast. For it is the number of a man, and his number is 603 score and 6. Okay, and that goes into that barcode that is in the C hip. You see? Let's go to Revelation 14:9. And the angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand. Okay, and many are going to worship the beast, okay, and his image, okay, his philosophy, this whole system that you see, this matrix, this whole government and what they're pushing upon the earth is a great delusion. All right, and the beast and the image is very deep. You know, it's very deep. You see, and ultimately, your world leaders want to subjugate every man, woman, and child by giving them the C hip. And that's what they're doing. All right, right now, it's in talks. All right, but it says the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. So if you take that C hip, you're gonna drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High. You're going to be punished in the sight of the Lamb, which is Yahweh Shai, whom the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. Okay, and it's gonna be without mercy. You see, that is the final test. Okay, that is the final test, which only the elect will pass. 2/3 of the nation of Israel, these other nations, and most definitely Esau, Edom will not pass of this test. Okay, which is the hour of temptation, and it's coming because the wicked are doing their crafty counsel, their NWO. They're trying to fulfill that enterprise. You see. But it's going to be thwarted. But if you take this C hip, that indignation, that righteous anger is going to be poured out upon you. Okay, it's going to be fire and brimstone, and you're going to be tormented in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. And the smoke of their torment ascendeth up forever and ever, and they have no rest day nor night who worship the beast and his image, and whosoever receiveth the mark of his name. You see? So this is what's going on in the world today. Okay, this is what is being pushed. The prophecy is here. Okay, and if it's out on the news, best believe by 2023, more. I'm gonna say that it's gonna creep up on society. It's gonna creep up in your face. That decision, okay, that temptation, okay, to want to save your life or to go or to just lose it for the sake of Yahweh Bashim Yashai is going to be presented to you. Okay, so let's bring this out. This is Revelation 3:10, because thou hast kept the word of my patience. Right, since you kept the word of Yahweh Bashim Yashai, which requires patience. A lot of patience is needed to deal with what's written in this book. Okay, but if you are of the elect and you are destined to make it through, you're going to deal. The Lord's going to deal with you, if I should say. You are chosen to make it. Okay. Okay. And even in death, the scriptures say, the devil shall cast some of you into prison to try you, but be faithful for 10 days, roughly paraphrasing the scripture, and I shall give thee a crown of life. Because there's going to be martyrs that are not going to receive the C hip, and that's okay. That's their lot. Their lot is to not receive it. Okay, it says because thou hast kept the word of my patience, and that's part of the word. All right, being a martyr, that's part of the word. That's part of the bitter and the sweet. That's part of knowing, okay, the judgment of the Most High. Scriptures say, "Wicked men understand not judgment." You see, but the righteous understand all things. It says, "I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth." So if you keep these words with you, if you are faithful unto the end, whether in death or being saved, the Lord's gonna be with you. Let's get this word "try," because that's one thing a lot of people don't understand.
Strong's G 3985, Pyrazzo. Pyrazzo.
It says to try, to make a trial of, test for the purpose of ascertaining his quality. Right? It's going to be made known in that day what quality of believer you are. Are you part of the elect or are you not? It's going to be made manifest in that day. Are you willing to die? Okay. Or are you those that are going to be slated for delivery? Either way, there's no dishonor in being in dying for Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. That's part of this truth too. Okay. For the purpose of ascertaining his quality or what he thinks or how he will behave himself. It says to try or test one's faith, virtue, character by enticement to sin, because this is the ultimate sin. It's the ultimate test. Okay, there's going to be an hour of temptation. Okay, and everyone's going to be tried. Okay, but not everyone's going to sin by taking it. Some are going to die. Okay, and they will be saved, and some are not. Some are not going to die, but they're not going to take it. They ain't going to die. That's just the way the Lord has played it out. Okay, so it says, behold, I come quickly. Hold that fast which thou hast, that no man take thy crown. Right, hold that fast which thou hast, that no man take thy crown. So you got to hold on to this truth. Okay, that is keeping the word of the patience of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, that no man take that crown, because the elect have that. They love not their lives unto death. They are walking testimonies and will overcome by the blood of the Lord. And the blood of the Lord covers even the martyrs, okay, as well as the believers. So I just wanted to bring this out. It's here. I know Apostle Hard did a video entitled, and I haven't seen it. I'm going to have to see that now that I mention it, but he said 2023 will be the year of hell or something to that effect. Okay, so that's a prophetic saying. So we'll see how quick they really push this. But I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bashim Yahushai, Bashim Rokah Kodash, double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that rule well, and a sincere salutation to all you Akim pushing this truth in all sincerity. Shalom.